Alabama State's stunning, surprising, exciting victory over St. Francis in the first four means they get to face Auburn in the first round when that kicks off on Thursday. The Tigers are going to be heavy favorites in this game, Riley. There's no surprise there. Did you see anything from Alabama State in that game against St. Francis or what they've done down the stretch of the season here that makes you think that they can potentially keep it close if certain things break their way?
In short, no. It's just a tough matchup. I mean, Alabama State is not a big team. They're 278th nationally in height. They play a bunch of guards, like pretty much at the 1 through 4. And I mean, I like how Amar Knox, TJ Matlock. I mean, Matlock has always been the prototypical coach's son, who's been a high usage player and has had some big scoring outputs. But even looking at their SWAC numbers, this was a team that they can't really shoot. They don't really get to the charity stripe. They aren't particularly efficient, and yet somehow they ranked fourth in the league in adjusted offensive efficiency. As I was looking at the numbers, I'm just like trying to wrap my head around it. Like, how did they do this? How have they won 7 games in a row? Because I mean, they force a lot of
Yeah,
turnovers, but that's kind of what every SWAC team does. That's kind of the MO of the league is you have guys who maybe are undersized but are pretty athletic and quick and can create havoc and get on transition, but it's just a formula that never really works against these power conference teams. And I just see like Auburn's size in particular giving them a ton of issues. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see Broom or Cardwell or even Chaney Johnson like foul out one or two of these big men.
yeah, they've won. Alabama State has won 11 of their last 12 games, including seven in a row, as you mentioned. You wonder how they're doing it. It's been close. The last four wins have all been by 5 points or less, all the postseason games. Another one against Southern in this win streak was by 1 point. It's been close. They shoot a ton of threes. They don't make a lot of them. Jim Smarkle was harping on this in the first four, but basically the game turned as soon as they decided they wanted to get into the paint and attack the rim. That's not going to work against Auburn
Hmm.
with Auburn's size, and they want to force turnovers. Auburn's bigger, faster, stronger, has quicker hands, has dealt with better defenses. It's going to come down to, I think, Alabama State has to shoot lights out and get on Auburn early to create some game pressure. And even then, it may be close for a couple of minutes. I
Hmm.
fully expect Auburn to win this game.
I'm with you. Or maybe they like maybe in the first half you can get Chad Baker-Mazara hit with a technical or something. Yeah, something to like get him out of the game because I'm envisioning he'll be the one on Madlock. And Madlock, I know Amar Knox actually led this team in scoring in conference play at 15 points per game. And of course, he was the one who hit the game winner. He's probably coming in feeling himself a little bit, but Madlock to me is still the key where if you at least want to make this respectable and not lose by 20 to 30, you need Madlock getting to the free throw line a ton. That's kind of his MO, downhill guard. But again, against Chad Baker-Mazara, who still one of the better perimeter defenders in the country, it's just tough to see it envision. It's just tough to envision it really happening, even when you have that backline defensive, like I mean, Cardwell and Broom, like a lot of these huge players they have in the front court are also like multi-positional defenders. Like even if Cardwell gets switched onto one of these guards, I still would give the advantage to Cardwell.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it's
Now, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
oh, you're good. I was just gonna say it's been a largely anemic offense but it's had the ball bounce their way and they do play really hard. I was hyped listening to Tony Madlock's speech after the game where he certainly seemed like what does he seem like? He seems like he's confident. I'll give him that. I'm not saying he's full on like Tobin Anderson, but I've like got a little hyped up. He's like, "Yeah, we're not done yet. We're not done." I'm like, "All right, I like this energy,
Yeah.
coach, but I think you're probably done."
Is there anything you want to see from Auburn in this game, or is it just a matter of like you're better than them, go beat them, and let's go home?
Man, I think Auburn like they it feels like they've just been almost like trudging through the mud recently, like
Yeah.
going through the motions. They've only, I mean, they hit just six threes against Tennessee, just six threes against Ole Miss. This is supposed to be a prolific offense that gets up and down and can put points up in a hurry, and they didn't do that in either of those two matchups. And granted, this could very well be a game where it results in Auburn scoring 100 plus. It wouldn't be a surprise to see them get right, but I think you want to see them shoot a much higher percentage from three and to just not look bored, if that makes sense. Um, I don't know. I feel like they need some sort of confidence boost, something to shake it up. And again, it's always tough to know. Like you can't draw a ton from these 1 versus 16 games, but maybe just some sort of a jolt of energy here that can get them back on track. I mean, we're
Yeah.
only what is it, 2.5 weeks removed from when they dog walked the same Ole Miss team that almost beat them down the stretch by 30.
Yeah.
Where they were beating Kentucky by nearly 20 in Rupp. Like that formula is still there. It's just been weird to see it not really play out how we've expected the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. I want to see the offense get back on track. And I think Todd Pettiford's a big part of that.
Mm.
No points against Tennessee, 5 against Ole Miss. That was his SEC tournament performance. He should be able to have his way in this matchup. There's a good chance for him to get back on track. I think Auburn needs him to be their best perimeter player. If they're going to make a long run, this is a chance for him to kind of get right. We'll see. Again, Auburn's looking at this as a get right game. Alabama State is trying to make history. I don't think it's happening in this matchup.